Hi, I'm Daniel Lettenberger Klein, and welcome to our virtual open house. We appreciate everybody joining us today. First, I wanted to thank everybody that's been committed to Stella Maris's mission, and that starts with our board of directors. I want to thank our board president, Sue Gregel, as well as our vice president, Bob Brandon. I also want to thank our tri-chairs, Rick Duty, Mac Donnelly, and Terry Fergus, for their support throughout this project. I want to thank Harlan and Associates, Harley Cohen and Eric Greenberg, for help guiding construction and making sure that we got this beautiful building. And I also want to thank Bob Bako at HSB, because without him, none of this would have been possible. At Huntington Bank, we've had some phenomenal partners, and we thank them for that. We also want to thank the Snavely team for getting this building the way it is and helping us along the way understand how to take care of our clients physically, and also the platform team for preparing the site. We really want to thank Senator Matt Dolan, as well as Representative Terrence Upchurch and Representative Tom Patton for their support of our project and their continued dedication to our population. We also want to thank Judge David Mattia for his work in the community and supporting Stella Maris. The Adams Board has been incredible partners for Stella Maris for some time, and we want to thank the Adams Board team as well as CEO Scott Osecki. We also want to thank Susan Jaros of Jaros Strategy and Ignite Philanthropy for their help in getting the capital campaign started, and all of the Stella Maris leadership and staff for their patience and dedication to our clients, for being with us along as we figured this out and made this building a beautiful place to take care of people. We want to thank all of the donors who've contributed to the capital campaign. Without the support of all of you and those who may not be with us today, this project would not have been possible. We are incredibly excited to take care of people in this building. It affords us the opportunity for clients to have space for group therapy, for individual work, to have space to eat, to talk. It also provides us the necessary space to take care of people in the midst of COVID. The beds in our facility were donated by Sealy Posturepedic. They're Sealy Tempur-Pedic beds, which we could not be more appreciative of. The space in general is a therapeutic place for us to take care of people the way that they deserve to be cared for, and we're incredibly fortunate to have been able to do that. We also were able to provide our campus with a new kitchen and cafeteria. We, pre-COVID, provided over 400 meals a day for staff, clients, and alumni, and are fortunate to be able to do that again in a beautiful place. We also want to take a moment to thank everybody for their support throughout our COVID pandemic, and before that, we had to modify our practices significantly and make sure that we took care of staff and clients every single day, modifying screening processes, how we let people in, our admissions processes, and we had to reduce our numbers. Ultimately, this impacts our ability to take care of the community and provides less access for people. Fortunately, we've been able to continue navigating through the pandemic without having any significant disruption, and we continue to take care of clients today. So thank you all for your continued support of everything that we're doing here. We will do our part to take care of our community, and we appreciate the time spent coming today to learn about what we're doing here at Stella Maris. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Pete Snavely. I am the president of the Snavely Group. We are builder developers and pretty invested in the Ohio City community as we speak. We had the privilege of building the addition for Stella Maris this last year. We were successfully awarded the project, and I think we delivered it on time and on budget, which we're all proud of. We're very happy to have had the experience to work with the Stella Maris team and all of the various consultants, Harley Cohen and Eric Greenberg, Bob Boyko at HSB, and the staff at Stella Maris. Was really an all-in wonderful experience. I think everybody was pretty happy with us, and we were certainly happy with the relationship and all the workings that we all got to do together. We're pleased to be part of the Stella Maris community, and we're pleased to have Stella Maris involved in Ohio City, providing obviously much needed service to so many people that really do need the help. So hopefully if there's ever a project in the future, we'll get to help out and participate, and certainly wish the whole Stella Maris gang continued success and much luck. Thank you.
Okay, what is your name?
So my name is Jamila Hardy. Here at Stella Maris, I am a counselor in the partial hospitalization program, and I'm also the case manager. So I take care of things outside of treatment, probation, medical appointments, mental health referrals. I'm also in charge of placement and sober living placement for the women.
And how did you end up at Stella Maris?
So basically, I lived 5 minutes away from here in the projects, in West 28th Projects. And towards the end of my addiction, I found out that Stella Maris had meetings in the coffee shop every day. And so I started walking down here. I was pretty much at the lowest point of my life. It was a very dark area, and I really couldn't see any light. And so when they told me that they had meetings down here every day, I started coming down here every day to the coffee shop. And I started just observing people, and I was watching people sit at these tables with these blue books, and I started paying attention and taking notes. And so basically, my entire foundation was built behind these walls. I went to IOP, just was walking down to a meeting one day and seeing that they accepted women, because I thought this was a facility for all men at first. And I signed myself up for IOP. And from IOP, started, building a foundation in this recovery process. I met my sponsor, my support group, and everything down here at Stella Maris.
And when did you start working at Stella Maris?
So after I graduated out of IOP, I found my son's father in a bathroom, deceased one night after I came home. And it was so traumatizing and devastating, because I was very early in recovery, but I had already started building a foundation down here. So I used, those people and those tools. And I picked up the phone. I was hysterical. I made one phone call, and my entire support group and sponsor was in my parking lot before the coroner, police, or anyone can get there, and, from there, it was like, I knew then that if I could stay sober through such a tragedy like that, I knew I wasn't going back, and so I was very codependent on my son's father, and he took care of me for 13 years before I found him in the bathroom dead. And at this point in my life, I didn't want to do anything to jeopardize my relationship with God. I didn't want to do anything degrading for money or anything like that. But I didn't know where my next dollar was coming from. I didn't have any idea how I was going to pay my rent. My next pack of cigarettes was coming from. And I remember getting on my knees, and I remember crying. And I remember saying, God, if I never needed you before, I need you now. And I believe that because I stepped out on faith, and I didn't do anything degrading to get money, I relied on the God of my understanding. 2 weeks later, Stella Maris called me to come work here. Now, I don't even remember applying for the job, to be honest with you. One of the other counselors here told me later on, like 2-3 years of my recovery process, he told me that he went to the director of nursing and told her that I would be great to work in the detoxification unit. And so, as I said, that's the series of events that took place. That's how they took place, and that's how I became to working in the detox unit. While I was working in the detoxification unit, Carol Nagus seen something in me that I didn't see in myself. She believed in me. Like it's almost like she's seen something, and she encouraged me to start taking courses and gaining certifications, and she encouraged me to go get my CDCA certificate. She encouraged me to go through the peer support certification. And then she started telling me, like, you need to go back to college, you need to get these credentials behind your name. And I remember after working in detox for 2 years, she called me into her office, and she was like, I have a position that I want you to move into. I want to give you a promotion, and I think you will be great for the partial hospitalization program. She was like, I got plans for you. Like, she had this whole elaborate plan put together already that I had no clue about. And that's how, you know, I started working in a partial hospitalization program. And from there, it's just been nothing but elevation. Like, Carol Negus, she struck up this fire in me that I had lost through addiction. And, you know, after I started, you know, following, you know, these directions she was giving me, I just kept going, you know. And so from being inpatient, or from being in the intensive outpatient treatment program here, to becoming an employee, to now being the owner and operator of my own sober living facility, and, you know, just trying to help women in more ways, you know, in more ways than working here, you know. So.
And now that we're sitting in this new building, what does this new building mean for Stella Maris and our new detox center?
You know, honestly, I knew that something like this would take place sooner or later, you know, the capital funding project, and, you know, Stella Maris expanding, you know, it's such a huge deal, you know, because Stella Maris represent diversity, you know, they represent cultural competency, that's why I didn't dress up for this interview purposely, because I'm able to be who I am, and Stella Maris accepted me for who I am, you know. And it was endearing to have some people to love you and care about you, even when I didn't love and care about myself at some point, you know. And I'm able to be who I am, and I don't have to pretend and put on a different face in front of upper management or anything like that. Like, you know, this whole family atmosphere and camaraderie is just it's amazing. I am so excited about, you know, this new building and the new opportunities for Stella Maris to help more people, you know. I'm just excited to see the expansion, and it's growing. It's huge. Stella Maris is huge in this community. When you talk about recovery outside of work, when I'm talking to people and recovery comes up, like, Stella Maris is a big name in this community. You know, everybody knows Stella Maris, you know. I have so many clients that come through here, and they tell me how much better this program is, no matter where they've come from, you know. So many people just talk so highly about Stella Maris and how the people really care, you know. It's like they can sense that we truly care about them. It's just not about files and numbers, you know. So I'm really excited about this new facility and the expansion, because we needed it. We need to be able to help more people. We need to open up this, you know, this facility to more opportunities for people, you know. So. And
do you have anyone to thank specifically at Stella Maris that made your journey possible?
Absolutely. You know, first of all, the staff here is great. Like, having fellow staff, and, you know, the staff is really great. I've never had a problem with anyone here, you know. And so if I could, I would like to thank everybody, you know. But if you want to be specific, Chanel Wingfield, she was my counselor in IMP, and I remember her making statements when I was in treatment, like, you got potential and things like that. I had no idea what she was talking about, but she was a great counselor, and like, the days of IOP was the highlight of my week. Like, most people hated coming to treatment. Oh, we gotta come to group, you know, but it was like the highlight of my week to come to treatment. You know, I was so excited to share what I was feeling and thinking and do the work. But I guess Chanel was very influential in my beginnings. Carol Negus, hands down, was, you know, like, she was really a huge part of my beginnings. Terry Luria, she's no longer here, but she was also a huge part of my beginning. She knew my work ethic, you know. She believed in me. She always uplifted me, always. Mr. Washington, You know, he's been a huge part of my beginnings. Rosalind Price, she's no longer here. She was a huge part of my beginnings from working in detox. She actually created a whole nother position and made me the secretary so that I could get my whole 40 hours, you know, like, it's crazy that, you know, it's just this whole group of people, man. Everybody played a part in this. Like, I would not be where I am today without the staff and, you know, without the employees here at Stella Maris. You know, everybody is so encouraging and so uplifting, you know. So if I was to thank anyone, also Daniel, you know, Daniel and Christine, like they are newer to the Stella Maris family, but it's almost like they've been here for years. Like, they came in and it's kind of like we already knew each other. You know, they came in and they fell right into this family atmosphere and this, you know, so I gotta thank the newer employees, you know, and the director and assistant, you know, the the clinical director. They both have been so welcoming and so understanding and like just, you know, just loving and caring, you know. It's almost like they've been here for years. You would not, you know, to sit down and have a conversation with Daniel, the CEO, you know, you wouldn't think that he just, you know, he's been here such a short amount of time he's been here. It just seemed like they both been here for years already, like already knew them. So I thank everybody. I thank you, Allison. You know, you've always been like one of my cheerleaders. You always speak so highly of me. You volunteer me for all kind of stuff to do without even telling me. You would tell me, hey, you doing this, and I'd be like, okay, tell me the date and time, you know. So you give me an opportunity for my voice to be heard, and I really appreciate you for that. You know, you're just such a huge help to the clients, you know, and so loving and caring to the clients. So I want to thank you too, personally. You know, you've been a part of my beginnings also.
Start crying. Okay, thank you, Jamila.
All right, thank you guys. Bye.
It's a part of the continued efforts here at Stella Maris to meet the needs of addiction in Greater Cleveland.
Stella Maris is a truly unique addiction treatment program that's been around for 72 years serving the community. There's something alive about this campus, something different than anywhere I've ever seen.
The existing detox was about 3,000 square feet, the whole building, and that included the downstairs, which is where we originally started our partial program. It also had our cafeteria. So moving into this facility, there are so many things that are like a dream come true for us.
This building really helps bring us forward as an organization and as a community, because moving to a central intake here at Stella Maris will afford us a no wrong door process, which means that when a client comes and gets scheduled for admission, they get to the level of care that's most appropriate for them in real time. They don't have to reschedule for a different level of care or wait for access to a different service. When they're in our office now in central intake, we will get them where they need to go. There will be continuity in care, which is what we've been built on, is creating a full continuum so everyone can get what they need on this campus.
Ranging from inpatient detox in the hospital, which is where we're sitting now, through intensive outpatient therapy, group therapy, sober housing. It takes many different levels of care to meet the needs of people suffering from addiction, and we are able to walk with someone at each step of that journey.
I'm really excited about having a detox that actually has room for the clients to spread their wings a little bit. They're not right on top of each other, and it's a much more therapeutic environment for them and conducive to recovery.
The detox that's been built here is incredible. It's not only focused on comfort for a behavioral health facility, but it's open. It's got room for doing group therapy. It's got room for doing individual therapy. It's got separate rooms to ensure privacy for the people that need it.
And they look at the beds because we were donated, I think, over 100 mattresses from Sealy Posturepedic, and we've never had beds like that in our detox unit. So now they're going to be sleeping very comfortably in Sealy Posturepedic beds, which is really great.
But it also is built with a focus and emphasis on community, as is the kitchen and cafeteria downstairs. So while it is an incredibly comfortable place to be cared for in the midst of navigating drug and alcohol withdrawal, it's also a place where you can build relationship because it's focused on community involvement and community recovery.
And as the face of addiction changed, going from cocaine to methamphetamines to opiates in combination, Stella Maris' services have evolved.
Better education of our staff, because we have actually the technology and facilities to do it in instead of trying to cram everybody into a space that's way too small.
Everyone wants to be the best self they can be, and Stella Maris is one place that can help.
For anyone struggling with drug and alcohol.
It's a campus of hope for those in need of help. So that's what we do here.